And then since another step in the process uses steam, we use the solid fuel in a boiler to make our steam, but it doesn't need that much steam, so we boil off the steam in turbines, but the turbines only turn on when the solar panels don't produce enough energy, so we need a way of turning off the solar panels when we need to burn off the steam. And then that step that takes steam also produces water, so we need a way of making sure the water tank isn't full, and not to mention the fucking mountains of sand produced. Why is there so much sand? So yeah, it's already pretty complicated, and this is the simplest new resource. With all that being said...
Was that described in the simplest way? I don't believe it.
Time for our next big venture.
All of that for a rod. And it doesn't even have a flared base. Is it even worth it, Bart? Martin is back in Factorio. And this time, the factory isn't just taking over Earth. In fact, we're done pissing off the local RGB bugs. Now he's industrializing entire planets like the galaxy is his personal strip mine. So, before we begin, please leave a like if your oil rig touches Mars, and subscribe to the universe before Mart builds a belt system around the moon. Let's watch him expand so hard. The Sun files an HR report. Oh, I have captions
Good evening.
on. Hold on.
Welcome back to Factorio.
Okay, but
Last video, we installed the space exploration mod, built a big old factory, laid waste to our enemies, constructed a rocket, and launched ourselves into the great beyond. In this video, we expand even further. More death, more destruction, and more development of unprecedented risk management strategy through scalable operations. In this video, we won't just be going to space, but other whole planets. The entire solar system will not be spared from our reach.
we want Ryza, not Clotho.
Continue.
Let us.
But before we can continue, I must fulfill my obligations. Opera GX. That's right, boyos. This video is sponsored by Opera GX, the speediest gamer web browser you have ever seen in your entire life. Are you tired of these stinky web browsers vacuuming up all your RAM? Can't watch my videos in crystal clear 1440p because you're a Wikipedia goblin and forgot to close those 8,000 tabs about the most random shit imaginable?
Excuse me, sir. I need those tabs. In fact, I have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 tabs open right now, okay? I need every single one of them. And I'm going to have to open 2 more after this video. So, I'm a busy cat, okay?
40p because you're a Wikipedia goblin and forgot to close those 8,000 tabs about the most random shit imaginable. Like the surname.
Yeah.
Bing. Well, worry not, fuckos. Opera GX is here to save you. Download it now with my link in the description and use GX Control. Stop sucking up my RAM. Done. Stop sucking up my CPU. Done. Stop sucking. No. You can even limit the network bandwidth used, so when you download your 8 terabytes of smart, it doesn't interfere with your intense gamer session. Gentlemen, you can customize this browser to your heart's content. Dark mode, light mode. Force dark mode on every page so that this doesn't happen to you. And best of all, my very own wallpaper. Simply phenomenal. Fellas, we need to do something very important. Download Opera GX. Click this button in the top right, use custom wallpaper, get more wallpapers, download my wallpaper, and rate it 5 stars. Has Opera GX told me to do this? No, this is purely for my own vanity. We are currently at 23 ratings, but we need to have more. Jay Schlatt has 194, Russian Badger has 272, and PewDiePie has 748. And we can do better. What are you waiting for, fuckos? Each passing day, my ego must grow larger. Finally, if you download using my link, you get a small section from my past few uploads, so you will never miss a video ever again.
Do that with my channel.
And let's continue. Now, you may be asking, Mr. Mark, why has it been over a year since the last Factorio video? Well, I've been lazy, but I do have some excuses. For one, Ben and I in our infinite wisdom decided that this perfectly good, albeit a bit laggy factory wasn't good enough, and we just had to restart. So we switched up the mods a bunch and spent another 100 hours building a giant factory. Huge production facilities, a totally necessary...
I'm not gonna lie, every time I see like a zoom out of the factory, it just looks like a bunch of like PC parts, cables and such. I can't make sense of that. Heads or tails, I don't know.
Spent another 100 hours building a giant factory.
That's a
Huge
lot.
production facilities, a totally necessary and not pain in the ass 8-lane train network, and a room full of the most precious resource.
What is that?
At around 100 hours, we managed to get the first cargo rocket up and got ourselves into
I
space.
suppose
And then we
you're
were
not
like,
wrong.
you know what? This world kind of stinks. I don't like the mods. Everything is too goddamn large. And generally, it has an unpleasant vibe. So, once again, in our infinite wisdom, we abandoned that world and started over again. So, of course, day one. The crash landing, big space laser death rays, and setting up the starter base. Basic mining, basic smelting, red and green science, a blue 2021 Dodge Challenger, and most importantly, our text plates.
Yes.
Penis, 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 and the Zaza. 2 hours in, things were going well. And
right
then,
next to the penis? Oh my god.
we built an entire factory. Now, I'm just going to say that this was an intelligent storytelling choice, and definitely not me forgetting to record anything for over 40 hours. During those 40 hours,
Ooh, I would have been so upset if I were to like sit down and be like, yes, cracks and knuckles. I'm so ready to edit my next Factorio vid. Looks at recording files. No recent recordings of Factorio. I would have lost my marbles. So, I commend you, Mart. I commend you for still sticking through it and making a 23-minute long video regardless, even though you're missing your original footage. That's wild to me, holy.
storytelling choice, and definitely not me forgetting to record anything for
Not
over
at all.
40 hours.
No,
During
he
those
didn't
40 hours,
forget.
we built a whole factory.
Strategic.
We constructed a runway for our brand new aircraft and covered it in poop. Tristan wrote a beautiful haiku.
Pleasant.
Okay.
I want to read it. Hold on.
Brand new aircraft and
I want
covered
to
it in
read
poop.
it.
Tristan wrote a beautiful
Pleasant afternoon. A little spiky poop drops after the hot dog. Men.
haiku. Okay. He developed a powerful addiction to cement, built some concrete production, and then was never heard from. Ever again.
Oh.
These 40 hours of Factorioing were done before I went to America to make this video, so I wasn't under any particular time pressure. But if I wanted to get this video out in time, things would have to get efficient,
Busy.
which is a
And
problem for me
efficient.
because if I play Factorio for too long, my brain goes woo, 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 woo. And I walk around in circles for hours at a time, doing nothing. And so
I do the same thing, but in RimWorld. I'll be sitting there for like 6 hours on an off day, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. What if I just like go make myself dinner and leave the game running and see what happens? Can they survive on their own? No. No, they cannot. In fact, they're very bad at it. But that's okay. Because they have me. And sometimes I get a little tired of dealing with them, but that's my problem and not anyone else's, right? Wait, if it's not anyone else's, then I'm the only one with that problem. Oh my god!
and I walk around in circles for hours at a time, doing nothing. And so, not wanting to dilly-dally any further, Ben and I set our sights on launching to space. Day 2. Time to launch to space. Ben and I loaded up the cargo rocket with a bunch of supplies
Whoa.
and did our maiden launch for the 3rd time. And
Boy.
space, baby! Up there to greet us was this asteroid covered in junk and a bunch more useful stuff that we wouldn't be able to get for quite a
Railgun.
while. So after cleaning off the asteroid,
I
we
like
got to work
railguns.
on today's goal. Space science. Like all the other
Space
sciences,
science.
but space. While I was hard at work expanding our scientific capabilities, Ben busied himself with the construction of infrastructure.
I don't know. I have a better idea, Mom.
Building stuff in space presents a whole new type of logistical challenge. Where do I get materials? Well, there are a few options. Sending them up in cargo rockets, or using these. Delivery cannons. Delivery cannons do exactly what you'd expect. They shoot stuff into
things.
space. For them
Yeah.
to work properly, we need a special chest for the goods to land in, and a way of telling them to turn on and off.
Okay.
So this
So he answered the question that I was about to ask. I was about to say delivery cannons. It sounds like it'll shoot through the planet. But I am glad that I'm wrong, and I'm glad that there's actually like a system for them to properly land and therefore transport goods on. Although I will say, it probably takes a while, huh?
them to work properly, we need a special chest for the goods to land in, and a way of telling them to turn on and off,
Yep.
so this doesn't happen.
Oh.
Deciding on which
it does
transport mode to
happen.
use presents quite the conundrum. Which items do we
my
send via
God.
rocket? Is it worth sending the basic plates with delivery cannons, or is that
can't.
impractical? Making things even more difficult was the fact that some items we got in space couldn't really be used up here, and had to be
Yeah.
dealt with somehow. Ben, however, while trying to
Space
reconstruct the
fish.
fish tunnel from our second base, gentlemen, the fish tunnel, found
Fish.
the perfect solution. to that particular problem.
I don't know, scrap in here.
Just fucking flinging it into space.
Yeah.
So, after wiring everything
Use
together,
them.
building delivery cannon chests, making a transmitter and receiver, and setting up our little space science
You
production,
know how
before we
dangerous
knew
a
it,
fish floating in
space
space
science
would be?
was done. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hey, look
Space
at that.
This process takes a fair bit of energy, so using our combined 3.5 brain cells, we did this.
It's really fucking impossible to walk.
We are intelligent Factorio
You don't need
engineers.
to walk.
Back down on Nauvis,
You're in space. You should be able to just like kind of jump and glide. Why can't they jump and glide? Do they have like gravity boots? That's really cool if that's the case.
To walk.
we are intelligent Factorio engineers.
They
Back down
are.
on Nauvis, we had a few issues. For one, a coronal mass ejection.
Oh no.
Our umbrella defense took all the power from the factory, causing a giant blackout, but none of our base was damaged, and one of the CME beams even barbecued some biters. So thumbs up from me.
yeah, that's
Secondly,
good.
our flimsy walls were being eaten yet again.
I'm gonna
They
take him on.
eat the wall?
No, Ben,
I'm
no!
gonna fucking die.
For us to work efficiently in space, and eventually on other planets, our defenses would have to be self-sufficient. What we needed to do was build a wall.
Not just
Day
any
3.
wall. The wall.
Time to build a wall. If you
The
cast your mind back
wall.
to the previous video, we got away with minimal wall building because you could just build an impervious moat with everyone's favorite item, water fill.
Water
Of course,
fill.
our peaceful moat building eventually turned into
Not
this.
peaceful.
Well, the mod author, clearly having seen the utter shenanigans one can achieve with a bit of water fill,
Did you
tragically
catch it?
put a stop to it. Truly a sad day for Bean Boys Incorporated.
This is a very sad day for Bean Boys. Can we get some 07s in the comments, please? I can't believe they fixed it. It was effective. It was useful. We can't waterlog their houses anymore. Or water fill their houses, sorry.
Put a stop to it. Truly a sad day for Bean Boys Incorporated.
It's a
For this
sad
world, we
day.
decided not to use water fill since it's really not that fun, so instead we had to build an actual wall with actual defenses. So we built an actual wall
A real wall!
with actual defenses.
Yay!
Here's the blueprint. Some flamethrower turrets for the big damage, laser turrets to finish them off, and 2 layers of self-healing mending walls to keep out those
Self-healing mending
spiders.
walls?
To top it all off, we
Okay, how does that work? How does your wall self-heal? Does it like soak in the blood of the dead insects and just go, alright, I'm full? Is it a sentient wall? I'm concerned. What the fluff is in this game?
layers of self-healing mending walls to keep out those spiders. To top it all off, we have straight sections, gay sections, and train stops for our repair train to come and visit when things need repairing. Now, what's the point of spending all this time designing and building a shiny new wall if it doesn't expand our territory?
True.
So, I hopped in the attack helicopter and expanded our territory.
Expand. Oh my. Your territory is forfeit! Bean Boys! Aww. I'm glad they
This
can
is where our
establish
most powerful
dominance.
mod came into effect. And no, I'm not talking about the helicopter.
Aw.
I'm talking about the replacement of explosion sounds with vine booms. Once it was all said and done,
That's a lot
thousands
of
of
vine
biters had been laid
booms.
off, evicted, and burnt to death, and our territory had been greatly expanded. Now, of course,
Uh-oh.
let's build that wall. During construction, I had what some might refer to as a silly clown moment. To help
Clown
speed things up,
moment?
I'd been making good use of the jetpack, but the jetpack takes fuel. And I ran out.
Oh.
Rough.
Oh.
Walking all the way back was gonna take me ages, so instead of using my
That's
shit-ass
gonna take a
legs,
while.
I handcrafted a Dodge Challenger in about half a second and drove it back to base.
Bro, I wish you could do that IRL. Just like handcraft whatever you need for transportation. That'd be pretty based. But alas, we do not live in a video game.
Crafted a Dodge Challenger in about half a second and drove it back to base.
At least he's
Automating space
alive.
science allowed us to research a lot of new things. New machines,
Growth facility grows biological specimens under a range of controlled conditions.
grows biological specimens,
Yes.
me. But most importantly, everyone's favorite weapon system, artillery.
I like the artillery.
Well,
Huh.
I guess the wall works pretty well.
Yeah.
Now that the base perimeter had been
I
secured,
guess so.
it was time to expand the factory
Even more.
to other worlds.
Oh.
Day 4. Seagull,
More
the site of our
worlds.
next grand expansion. Seagull is a small moon rich in Cryonite, the first resource that we can't just get on Nauvis. And Cryonite, we would be needing. So to get
Yes.
started, I fired up the creative world and
What
spent a
would
few
you be
hours
needing that for?
creating. Cryonite presents a bunch of new challenges. First of all, it's not practical to put the processing plant on Nauvis because Cryonite ore only stacks at 20, which kind of makes moving it around a bit of a gigantic pain in the arse.
Yeah, that's
but
a pain.
Cryonite rods stack to 200, and each Cryonite rod takes 10 Cryonite ore, so that's 100 times better. Well, to make the rods,
So you could just make an automated system to collect all of the raw cryonite, turn it into a rod, and then store it. That way you don't have any storage issues because cryonite can only stack in 20s. Hopefully. I say that not knowing at all anything about this game. Just kind of common sense. At least that's what I would do if I could do it.
100, and each Cryonite rod takes 10 Cryonite ore, so that's 100 times better. Well,
Yeah.
to make the rods, we need heavy oil, and the only way for us to get that is with oil processing, so we need to make some oil processing, but then we also need a way to deal with the light oil and petroleum byproducts, so we turn this into solid fuel, and then since another step in the process uses steam, we use the solid fuel in a boiler to make our steam, but it doesn't need that much steam, so we boil off the steam in turbines, but the turbines only turn on when the solar panels don't produce enough energy, so we need a way of turning off the solar panels when we need to burn off the steam, and then that step that takes steam also produces water, so we need a way of making sure the water tank isn't full, and not to mention the fucking mountains of sand produced. Why is there so much sand? So yeah,
my God.
it's already pretty complicated, and this is the simplest new resource. With all that being said,
Was that described in the
Here's the
simplest
blueprint.
way? I
so
don't believe it.
time for our next big venture.
All of that for a rod. And it doesn't even have a flared base. Is it even worth it, Bart?
Before leaving, I had written out a comprehensive, exhaustive list of everything we would need. Except, of course, cliff explosives,
Perks
substations,
needed.
construction box, and logistics bots.
He needs
I
those.
forgot. I built a big solar field to power the base, sent it on the rocket with all the stuff I forgot, and then sat back and let our good old botters do all the hard work. After an hour, the facility was done, and we had made our first Cryonite rods.
Yes!
To take
Dude,
them-
that takes a ton of work. I just kind of vaguely recalling what he said. There's a lot of resources that go into refining said fuel. It sounded simple, but then he went into details about it, and I was like, oh, there's more. And then there was more on top of that. My brain would be fried after that. Just one session, dude. I can't, bro. Mart has the mental capacity and fortitude of someone who should be working at NASA.
Facility was done, and we had made our first Cryonite rods. Yes! To take them back to Nauvis, I built another
always
rocket, another landing pad,
amazed.
and flew myself back home. And there we go, boys.
We go
Cryonite
home.
was now available. The first thing we needed it for was making utility science. So I hooked it up to a delivery cannon, went back into space, stuck down a bunch more machines, and before I knew it, utility science was done.
Yes!
Finally, we could research logistics system, and the factory could grow even larger.
More.
Day 5.
Hands.
Time for the factory to grow even larger. Using our new
Mm-hmm.
logistics chests, we began reconstruction of our space base to use a bus design. And tragically, in the process of building our new bus, this happened.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
what
Funnily
hap-
enough, this train
It
had
ran
not
out of
been touched for
fuel.
over 20 hours and was still spinning. I finished up the side of our bus and rebuilt the science production to make a
It just
respectable
stopped.
60 science per minute. Utility
Poor
science was
bus.
done. Now it was time for production science. Production science uses Vulcanite, and so it was time for more creative world.
Expand!
Vulcanite, like Cryonite, has its own set of unique challenges. First off, Vulcanite stacks to 20, so once again we want to make it into Vulcanite blocks. Vulcanite ore goes into pulverizers, gets pulverized into crushed Vulcanite, enriched Vulcanite, and even more fucking sand. The crushed and enriched Vulcanite and then used in centrifuges with some added sulfur, which produces even more enriched
I hope he knows that the sand part is just gonna happen regardless because it's dirt. There's gonna be sand and dirt inside of a rock. I'm sorry, Mart. It is what it is, and it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks, but at least you have enough sand. Yeah, you'll never run out. So I mean, it's not all that bad. But what do you even use sand for in this game aside from like glass?
fucking sand, the crushed and enriched Vulcanite, and then used in centrifuges with some added sulfur, which produces even more enriched Vulcanite through a feedback loop. The enriched and crushed is then sent to industrial furnaces where it's combined with water and petroleum, which makes our final product Vulcanite blocks and some steam, and the steam is put through a condenser turbine, which converts most of it back to water. Now this process is fairly complicated, but what makes it particularly difficult is the fact that planets with lots of Vulcanite also tend to be waterless.
Oh.
No
That's
water means we
messed up.
can't easily make the sulfur or petroleum, so those need to be shipped in. Or do they? Since we now have access to Cryonite, we can also freeze the water and ship it around that way. Water ice can stack to 200, and each ice
That's
holds
good.
100 water, so every stack is 20,000. This is quite a good solution, because ice is almost free, and we don't have to ship any barrels,
Yeah.
which is good.
And water
Because
is
barrels
mostly
suck.
endless.
While I was sorting all this out of my head, Ben joined the creative world and decided to build some plutonium reactors.
Uh-huh.
Of course, seeing as we were in a creative world and had access to whatever we wanted, things very rapidly went off the rails.
Oh
Plutonium
no.
atomic bomb. Alright, Martin, where the f are you?
Don't shoot this, please. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's gonna shoot fast, okay?
It's gonna shoot very
Let me do it.
fast.
Oh, there
Oh
they
my
go.
god.
Jesus Christ. My
Like-
screen's just white.
What are you...
Look.
What's with all the worms, Ben?
Alright, Martin, in game blueprints, if you ever need, if you never need a block of 23.
Look, man, if you miss the insects, why didn't you just go back to your main planet where I can guarantee they absolutely respawned? He missed them so much, he became God and created them, only to destroy them. That's oddly, scarily poetic. That's not scary at all.
Alright, Martin, in game blueprints, if you never need a block of 23,000 worms. It's just fucking there.
I'm good.
Oh my
pass.
god, that's a lot of worms.
It's a lot of worms.
Worms. That's what that
That's a
is.
lot of
Back in the game, we
lag.
got a few things ready for our Vulcanite expansion and had a look around at the star map when we noticed an interesting structure in the asteroid belt.
Oh. Oh! It's a ship!
Day 6.
I want
Agni,
it.
our chosen destination for Vulcanite processing. But first, more creative world to try and wrap my head around cargo rockets.
Is he
okay,
not
it's been a few hours.
gonna
Oh,
talk
do you
about
wrap your
the
head
spaceship?
around cargo rockets? No. This
No.
large amount of Factorio I had been doing was definitely getting to me. My initial plan of being efficient called for a schedule, short breaks every hour or two, frequent meals, but all of that went out the
113
window once I started actually playing. Yeah, sure, I could eat right now, but I'm almost done with my new smelter setup, and I think I know which is more important.
Oh
This
my
game.
god! That's so bad, but also I get the same way, especially when it's something I enjoy. If it's a game I enjoy, it's so over. I will neglect myself unapologetically. It's bad. Currently, that game is Uma Musume. I am addicted. I don't need help. I'm happy. Let me be happy. If that means no dinner, that's okay. I can just have breakfast in the morning.
Almost done with my new smelter setup, and I think
promise.
I know which is more
It's
important.
okay.
This game really is crack. Anyway,
Yes.
I still had a job to do, and today it was to go to
Especially if
Agni
you know
and
what's
get
going on.
some goddamn Vulcanite. I loaded up the
Yeah.
rocket, this time remembering to bring the stuff I forgot last time, and flew over to our next big venture.
Whee! Oh, that's a big planet. Oh. I thought it was gonna be more music. I'm a little sad about that.
I built another big-ass solar panel, stuck down 10,000 more accumulators because the day-night cycle is quite long,
What
and once
happened
again,
to your
sat back
audio?
and let the botters do all the hard work.
Did he record
And
with a
after a few
phone?
hours of bringing more stuff from Nauvis, the blueprint was built, and Vulcanite was finally being processed.
Are you okay, Mart?
So I took it back home, made a setup to make iron
this
ingots,
my
loaded
fault?
it all on delivery cannons, built even more space machines,
What's
and what do you know?
going on?
Production science was automated.
Is this me? Am I going schizo?
god.
Oh,
It
it's
only
clear.
took 82 hours. Production
It
science
only
let us
took
unlock
82
a bunch of
hours.
cool stuff. Better inserter configurations, beacons, bigger bot cargo capacity, Covrix enrichment, and best of all, incendiary artillery shells.
That's
These are like
nice.
normal artillery shells,
But with
but
fire.
spicier. And with that, I quit Factorio and went out with my friends to a nightclub. You know, for efficiency.
Yeah.
Day 7.
I mean,
After-
if you think about it, if you take a brain break, you're able to come back later with a clear head. So, yeah, it was to make his gameplay, Factorio gameplay, better, okay? It wasn't for any selfish reason at all. It was solely for Factorio. In fact, he was drinking at that club, thinking about Factorio, wondering where he's gonna go next, thinking about what the next thing will he build, so on and so forth. Other Factorio thoughts. Factorio.
You know, for efficiency.
Yeah.
Day 7. After a rather solid night out, leaving the club when the lights came on at 4 a.m. and getting home at 5, I went to bed, got nowhere near enough sleep, and hopped back on Factorio.
Oh,
However,
God.
as you can probably imagine,
He has a
the
clear
powerful
head.
hangover I was battling with left me playing Factorio like a complete brick.
Yay!
So, I wasn't going to do anything complicated. Just some simple upgrades. Productivity Module 3s, some Coverx processing, concrete production to fuel my incredible cement addiction, some upgrades for the science setup, and finally, designing and building a
says
nuclear
simple.
reactor that takes no inspiration whatsoever from this one by Zisto.
No, not at
None.
all.
They just happen to be quite similar. for
Yes.
No particular reason.
No,
I completed the
not at
day
all.
with some copper smelting expansion. Hey girl, are you a construction worker?
No.
Because you are building.
It simply just makes sense. It just makes sense. though.
And right before I went to bed, I found this wonderful hidden text plate.
Anus.
News.
Anus.
Day 8.
Sorry,
Our
I
resources
pronounced
are
it
running
wrong,
low.
clearly.
And that space we claimed on day 3, well, I think it could be larger.
What?
Right now, we need more copper. And while there's a little...
Wait a minute. He keeps saying it could be bigger, but I see some spaces in the area that they already have. Free spaces, open spaces where he could expand. Where you don't need to mess with the wall. You can just keep building. Why is he not doing that? Or is he talking about doing that right now and am I just a little dull? I might be just a little dull. But if he means expand as in, you know, push the wall forward and get more space, then my assumption is correct.
Day 3, well, I think it could be larger. Right now, we need
It
more
could.
copper. And while there's a little bit within our walls, there is much, much more, just a little outside of them.
He's going outside
I think you see where this is
the
going.
wall.
It was time to expand our territory once again. I laid out a plan for a new wall, trying to use as much water as possible. But what's the point spending all this effort clearing out new territory if our wall is outdated and shit? So I
That's
hopped back into the
true.
creative world and built
Remake
wall
it.
version 2. For our new wall, I would be using some of our new upgrades. Each wall segment would have an artillery turret loaded with incendiary shells, but the main difference is in the train stops. The old system was dumb, but the
was
new
dumb?
system is less dumb. This totally, fully necessary big blob of combinators reads the contents of these chests and calls the train when supplies run low. The main advantage of the new system is that once the station is built, the train
That
will
is
automatically
nice.
come by, unload the materials and construction bots, and the bots will build the rest of it for me.
Oh.
The flamethrowers also now use napalm, since why not? Anyway, for us to actually build these
There's something really satisfying watching the things you create other things and basically automate the entire process. It's absolutely wild and satisfying, and I can see why this game is crack. No, that does not mean I will play it. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I feel like this game might just require a little more than one brain cell. I will enjoy and live vicariously through Mart. I wish I had the brain for this.
forming.
I'm
The
sure I
flamethrowers
do,
also now use
But I
napalm,
also
since
don't have the time.
why not? Anyway, for us to actually build these walls, we would need to clear out a lot
Bug.
of biters. So I hopped back in the attack helicopter and got to work on our next grand expansion.
The Bean Boys, they're back. Goodbye, boogers. Who knew that
The
would
first
be
wall
so
segment had been
satisfying?
placed, and thousands of biters had been sacrificed for it to happen. I quickly stuck down some
Rip.
copper outposts, and the factory's blood could flow yet again.
Yay!
Day 9.
Oh, but what
I
if
wasn't
they
done.
run
Gentlemen,
That's a good question. Can he actually run out of a resource? Like if he can he drain a resource? So like, example, He's pumping oil. And he's pumping oil for days, months, years, even. Will that supply eventually just dry up and he'll have to find a new area? If that's a thing in the game, that's pretty darn cool.
Yet again.
Yes.
Day 9. I wasn't done. Gentlemen, it was time to build the rest of the wall. To build it, I'd have to clear out thousands and thousands of biters. So, wanting to do things efficiently, I ran some tests. The attack helicopter was great, but it needed lots of rockets and it had health, so it could die.
It could.
Oh, no. And while it was very fast, it could be faster. Introducing the Flying Fortress, one of the vehicles of all time. More health and faster speed.
Nice.
Surely this would be better than the helicopter.
Holy, that's fast.
Nope. The Flying Fortress is an airplane, and airplanes have this little quirk where if you go below a certain speed, they go, I don't want to fly anymore, and they land.
Yeah.
So, inevitably, while delivering high explosive rockets from the safety of my plane, I flew too slow, the plane landed itself, and I got mauled to death by an angry mob.
No, you have to zoom.
No. Next up was our new incendiary artillery, which proved to be much more effective. Using manual targeting, I could clear entire giant nests in a few seconds. Even better, I could use the helicopter to get to an island, stick down the turrets, and rain death behind an impervious barrier of water. This was great.
That's messed up.
It could be even better. Introducing artillery shells that are atomic bombs. Our arsenal was perfected. The blueprints are ready, and Operation Poop Shit
Oh god.
was a go.
It's happening. That's insane. Oh my god. He's like an evil overlord. Poor folks. That's a lot.
Ben, I found the resonant frequency of my room. Would you like to hear the resonant frequency of my room?
Yes.
And would you look at that? The biters are all dead, and the wall is all built. Holy shit, I think that's it.
Big area.
In total, it took me about 13 hours of pure killing, paving, and building to get here. But it was definitely worth it. Because safety and security had finally, for real this time, been achieved.
Yay!
Day 10.
And have a better wall.
With our borders more secure than ever, it was time to continue on our galactic conquest. Ben and I, again seeing that spaceship in the asteroid belt, decided to hop in a rocket.
I want to be on the Millennium!
Alright, here it is, Ben.
Ooh. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
3,
probably...
2, 1, launch.
Oh.
Oh.
It works!
And engage. Ooh, shit.
That's cool! Oh my god!
Oh, there we
I love
are.
it.
We're in Nauvis.
It's all
I'm gonna
working.
go down here. Bam.
It's perfect.
I'm fucking
That was
stuck
sick.
on this solar panel.
That's actually so cool. It's called the cum wagon.
Come on again?
Riding on the high of our successful
Who named it
bootstrapped
that?
spaceship experience, we scoured the star map for anything else interesting. And we found something interesting.
Kuleman.
An alien pyramid structure poking out of the ground on the surface of Agni.
Is that a part of a mod, or is that in the base game? What's in the alien structure? I have to know. Mark, we're reaching the end of the video. Please don't leave me on a cliffhanger. I can't do this.
Alien pyramid structure poking out of the ground on the surface
know.
of Agni.
We
So
gotta go to Agni.
Ben and I headed over to Agni to take a look.
Yes.
There it is.
What's in? Ooh.
Yeah,
It looks ominous.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Well, shit.
To be continued, I suppose. Thank you! Thank you, Mart. Thank you for watching.
Thanks once again to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Download them from the link in the description and the pinned comment.
I use it. I love Opera GX. It's great.
Oh.
Thank you for tuning in to another NEKO Reacts. So, I've heard you all have been down the Factorio rabbit hole. Have you been this far in the rabbit hole? Have you also dabbled in mods? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, please leave a like and subscribe to the universe, and I'll see you in the next one. Matanya! Bye bye!